Do you remember Wii Sports or Kinect Sports, and you wanted to play that again, but it just wasn't immersive enough? Well, they have it now for VR, and it is, coincidentally, called VR Sports. Hi guys, this is Moriarty.
And this is Crypto Spook, and I absolutely do remember all of those. I had both, the Wii and the Kinect, and I certainly remember you and I punching at each other virtually across the internet until both of our arms couldn't move anymore.
It was some of the most fun. I love the sports games. I think they really take advantage of this medium really well. And this one takes advantage of it really well. You have a whole bunch of different game modes. You've got soccer, which they call football. You've got basketball, bowling, home run, clay shooting, Japanese archery, and boxing. And all of them are really, really well done. I had a lot of fun. I played all of them on hard, by the way, and I still managed to do pretty okay. I think the fact that there is a hard mode that's actually really pretty difficult means that there is also a skill curve that you can learn, which I love about it. Because I don't know about you, but I remember especially the Kinect boxing. The skill curve was eventually you learned to just kind of roll your hands like you were
hitting a speed bag.
And that's all you did. You just kind of rolled your hands and that's how you won.
It was whoever could just absolutely not stop throwing punches for a minute and 30 seconds.
Exactly. With this, it's completely different. You have to duck and dodge because it knows where your head is. You have to hit them and block because it knows where your hands are. It's really, really in-depth and really immersive. The soccer's fantastic. It's just goalie tending, but still, it's fantastic.
Is this multiplayer by any chance?
There is no multiplayer, but there are leaderboards. The leaderboards are local and online. You can go against people in your home. They don't even have to be there at the time. Let's say you work different schedules and you want to really beat the living crap out of your roommate or your wife or whoever, and you want to do it in a legal and safe way.
Legally speaking, I'm not going to endorse beating the crap out of your wife.
At soccer... all of the game modes are fun and you can learn them, which is something that I think is fantastic. And I felt like everything was pretty responsive too, which I was happy about. When I threw the ball, I felt like it went where I wanted it to go, or at least it went where it was supposed to go realistically. Once you spend enough time with it, you learn the idiosyncrasies of the actual sport that you're playing, and it works pretty well. I had a lot of fun with this. I really think this is a must-own game.
How would you say that this game stacks up against Wii Sports and against Kinect Sports?
It is infinitely better. This game is immersive, it is fun, it is responsive, it feels right, it looks good. It's way better than anything that's ever come before it, but it takes all of the best stuff from those games and puts it in this.
That makes sense. The only issue being obviously that there is no multiplayer.
I don't necessarily need to be sitting there playing against someone else when I'm doing these kind of sports. That being said, I would like to see some of these sports coming into multiplayer later on, especially things like the boxing, like the Homerun Derby. I'd like to be able to see somebody else being the pitcher and who can outpitch the other person. I think that's a natural progression for a game like this that would be a lot of fun.
What was the retail for this? Is this game out yet?
This game is not out yet. It comes out on the 13th, and it does not have a price release yet. I'm okay with that, because I think that as long as it's not $30, it's worth it. It's a good game, and it's a lot of fun. The only problems that I had with this game is that some of the controls are not quite natural. For example, when you're doing bowling, you're supposed to hold it like a bowling ball, but you can't really do that with a Vive controller.
Yeah, no, I guess that is a pretty good point.
There was a similar problem with the baseball. It's trying to get you to hold the bat with two hands. You can't really do that when you have two controllers in your hands. I eventually found a fairly comfortable way of doing it, but the fact is that the first couple of times I went through it, it was impossible.
Oh no!
Very unnatural. It's a little awkward. You can work through it, and I still think it's fine, but not quite great.
This game is a perfect example of why we need the new Vive Touch controllers.
The new Vive Touch would be perfect. It would change everything, and it would make this game truly outstanding. As it is, it's pretty fantastic, but it would be truly outstanding. I tell you what though, the interesting thing about all of these sports is that every single one of them, I felt like I was actually playing the sport against somebody who was actually throwing a ball at a reasonable speed, or actually kicking a ball at a reasonable speed. At no point did it feel like it was fake, or like it was slowed down for my benefit.
Well, I'm glad that you chose to play everything on hard. That really does represent the best that the game has to offer.
And that's the thing, it really did feel like I was playing the game. When I was doing the Homerun Derby, even though I was quite terrible at it, it felt like I was actually having a ball thrown at me at about 80 miles an hour.
Because this is 2D, I can't imagine what it's like in VR, but I bet it's really cool.
It's fantastic. This is already my favorite athletic game that we've played. The multiplayer is kind of a disappointment, but at the same time, I would still go and play this game again. And I think you should play this game. It's a lot of fun. It's super cool. If you've been paying attention to the news and you saw a couple of different gamers who had come out and lost a bunch of weight playing VR, this is a game that will do that for you. I was getting a good and solid workout playing this game. I think that if you decided to do this once a day for just a little bit of time, you would see some noticeable weight loss, which is fantastic on the side.
You know, that's a great point. I definitely remember working up a heck of a heap of sweat playing Kinect sports and stuff like that out in the garage.
It's also got slower options for when you need to just kind of sit back and relax for a minute, like the skeet shooting or the Japanese archery, which is, again, very calm, relaxing. You just kind of do your thing and there you go. So it's not all high intensity workout stuff. You can also just kind of sit there and relax a little bit, which is really nice.
Wow, this is a new style of archery.
This is a fantastic archery mode. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I kind of wish that you could choose to do practice mode and just kind of play around as opposed to just this, but it was still a lot of fun and I had a great time with it.
Yeah, it would be nice if there were some more modes in this, because that archery style looks really interesting.
And the boxing gets you right back into it, and it's super intense. It can go on for a long time because you got to knock the other guy down 3 times.
But they seem to have really done a good job with this mode.
Incredible. I had so much fun with it.
Okay, no, I mean, this looks like a really great game, and I'm pretty excited to give it a shot.
There you go, guys. That's VR Sports. It comes out on the 13th. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if this reminds you of the Kinect and the Wii games. Let me know if you enjoyed those, if you even wanted a VR Sports game. If you didn't, tell me about your favorite couch potato game. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Remember to subscribe, and as always,
We'll see you on the next one.